Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jules, and as always, I'm super excited to have you here. Have you ever felt like you're lazy or you're unmotivated or you're broken? Well, I'm here to tell you today that maybe that's not the case. Maybe it's the fact that you are just disconnected from your purpose. I see a lot of young people thinking that they're lazy, that they'll never amount to anything, and it's damaging to their self-esteem, which continues to hurt them in the future. I want you to really think about this. The voice in your head that says you're not good enough, you'll never get it done, you'll change tomorrow, that's not your truth. That's the sound of you forgetting who you really are. Now, let me tell you a story. In 2010, there was a diver that went missing off the coast of Indonesia. He was part of a group, but a sudden current pulled him away from the others. They searched for him for hours and nothing. Most people assumed that he was gone, but he wasn't. He had been pulled miles away from everybody from the original dive spot and drifted alone in open water. No food, no water, no raft. Nothing but a wetsuit and his will to survive. For 2 days, he treaded water under the blazing sun by day and freezing winds by night. Jellyfish stung him, and he experienced all kinds of challenges, as you can imagine. He was dehydrated and hallucinating. You could barely tell the difference between the sky and the sea anymore. On the third morning, a fisherman happened to spot something unusual in the waves far off in the distance. And it was him, still kicking and still alive. When they pulled him onto the boat, the first thing he asked was, "Did everyone else make it?" That story hit me because most people live every day like that man in the ocean. But instead of water, they're drowning in distractions, they're drowning in anxiety, they're drowning in expectations and fear. Every single day, they're kicking, gasping, trying to survive the current life. But they never stop to ask, what am I fighting for? Where am I trying to go? What's my North Star? See, you're not lazy. You're lost at sea, surrounded by noise, unsure of which direction leads to land. But unlike that diver, you're not powerless. You don't have to drift anymore. You can choose a direction and swim. You just have to remember what you're swimming towards. Think about it. How many hours have you spent watching other people chase their dreams while doubting your own? You scroll past highlight reels and compare them to your behind the scenes. You're exhausted, but it's not physical, it's spiritual. You're drained because you're living without alignment. Napoleon Hill once said, "There is one quality which one must possess to win, and that is definiteness of purpose. Without it, every day feels heavy, every task feels pointless." You start thinking you're lazy, but the truth is that your mind is just craving direction. You weren't made to live on autopilot. You weren't born to fit into someone else's blueprint. You are here to create something that reflects that fire inside you. That's why you feel uneasy when you waste time. That discomfort isn't a flaw, it's your calling trying to wake you up. So, how do you reconnect? You start by getting quiet. No music, no scrolling, no noise, just you and your thoughts. And ask yourself, what would I do if I wasn't afraid? What have I always wanted to do but talked myself out of it? What would I chase if no one was watching? Clarity doesn't come from outside, it comes from here, from inside. But you have to make room to hear it. Then you move. Not tomorrow, not next week, but now. Do the thing, write the plan, book the class, start the channel, send the message, lift the weight, run the mile, whatever your version of momentum looks like. Chase it because Action is the antidote to anxiety, and momentum doesn't need motivation. It creates it. But here's the part that, a lot of people don't understand. It's not going to feel perfect. You're going to doubt yourself. You'll want to quit. But that doesn't mean it's not working or that it's not worth it. Tony Robbins says, it is in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. Every time that you choose discomfort over distraction, every time you choose progress over perfection, you're changing your future. Whether it's one rep, one word, one step at a time. And if you're waiting to feel ready, let me save you years and tell you that you will never be ready. You just have to act. Confidence isn't a prerequisite, it's a result. You get it by doing the thing that you're afraid of. You build it by stacking evidence that you can show up even when it's difficult, even when it's hard. Neville Goddard talks about living in the end. That means acting from the identity of the person that you want to be, not waiting to become them. Walk like them, speak like them, think like them, because your identity drives your actions. When you assume the feeling of your future, your present begins to align. You're not pretending, you're remembering, you're rehearsing for your next level. And yet, even with all that, some of you are still hesitating, waiting for a sign, a breakthrough, a green light. This is it right now. This is your moment to stop surviving and start living. Bob Proctor said, you were born rich, not just with money, but with ideas, creativity, resilience, and potential. Stop letting the world convince you otherwise. Stop handing your power to doubt, to comparison, to comfort. And build your habits like your life depends on it, because it truly does. Wake up earlier, even by 15 minutes. Write your goals every day. Stop breaking promises to yourself. Keep your word, even when no one's watching. That's how you rebuild trust with yourself. That's how you prove I'm no longer drifting. And remember, pain is part of the path. There will be resistance. You'll want to go back to what's easy. But easy never changed lives. Easy never built legacies. You have to lean into the work, because with every struggle, every challenge, every doubt you push through, you're becoming someone new, and better yet, you're becoming the person you were always meant to be. David Goggins didn't become who he is because it was fun. He became unbreakable because he did what others ran from. He sat in the pain, and so must you, so must I. Because on the other side of pain is pride. The real kind, the kind that comes from knowing you did it anyway. You don't need permission. You don't need to explain your dream to anyone. In fact, I recommend you don't. You just need to act. Because if you don't, you're giving your power away. You're floating, waiting for the tide to carry you to shore. But tides don't lead, they pull. And they'll pull you deeper until one day you wake up and you wonder where all your time went. So swim. Decide who you want to be and become them in every choice, every thought, every move you make. And don't stop until the ocean becomes a shore, until the fear becomes fuel, until the work becomes worship. Remember, you're not lazy. You're powerful. You're chosen. You're remembering who you are. And this time, you're not drifting. You are moving. I hope that you found this video valuable. If you did, please let me know in the comments. Hit like and subscribe. And if you think somebody would benefit from listening to this video, please share it with them. Thank you.